I'm going to try that one next. Tastes amazing, like a normal cookie. Is that
true?
The ones from the north.
Oh, it's the north.
We're disrupting the way people are looking at protein, and we're cultivating a culture of sustainability. And we're doing that by introducing crickets as that healthy and sustainable form of protein. What do you think of when you hear crickets chirping? Is it usually like maybe those warm summer nights, grassy fields? Yeah. Or maybe even that awkward silence when a joke falls flat? I don't know. But when I think of crickets, I think the future of foods. And I'm not the only one. 80% of the world is already consuming insects on a regular basis. It's just that America, the Western cuisine, hasn't adopted to it yet. We still look at it as a taboo. So crickets in particular, just to let you guys know why they're so great, they have 3 times more protein than steak, ounce per ounce, more B12 than salmon, more iron than spinach, more calcium than milk, and they're a complete protein having all 9 essential amino acids. And the list goes on. If you guys want to see the packaging, on the back side there's way more health benefits than just that. But that's not the only reason why we should consider eating bugs. There's a bigger problem, and what I'm about to tell you may startle you, may scare you a little bit, because this is a problem that we're not aware of, right? But by the year 2050, there's going to be an additional 2 billion people on the planet. And economists are already saying that we're unlikely to have the food resources to feed all 9 billion of us. Now, I want you to imagine this for a second, because this is like a food crisis that we wake up and we're not aware of. This is like a crisis, kind of like a disease that grows inside your body, and by the time you are aware of it, it's too late. So we need to make a change, not for our sake, but for our future generation and our future kids' sake. Fortunately, crickets are the solution to that. Cattle. To produce 1 pound of protein from cattle, right? Hear me out for a second. It requires 2,000 gallons of water. 2,000 gallons of water. Think of all the showers we could be saving, all the water resources that we could be saving. You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, crickets to produce the same amount of protein only requires 1 gallon of water. 2,000 times less. Not just that, but they produce 100 times less greenhouse gases than traditional livestock. Funny fact about that is they can't fart. Now, but all jokes aside, you know, they require way less feed. They only require 8% of the feed that traditional livestock need to produce the same amount of protein. So we add all these benefits, right? We add less feed, less water, less greenhouse gases. This is great. This is music. And we get this eye-opening statistic, which comes from the UN, saying that it's 20 times, yes, 20 times more efficient to raise insects for protein than cattle. So hopefully by now, I've established that eating insects makes rational sense, right? But let's get to the hard part. Let's really get to the hard part of this. How are we going to get over this psychological barrier of eating a bug? You know what I mean? Especially since we're programmed with watching shows like Fear Factor. Who watched Fear Factor when you were younger? Dude, I love that show. Seriously. We're programmed subconsciously to just think of crickets and bugs like, yo, we don't eat these things. We spray them and we kill them. But let me ask you guys a question. Let's actually take a poll here. Who here eats sushi on a regular basis? Raise your hands. Wow, most of y'all. If this was 20, 30 years ago, you know, y'all would have been looked at as pioneers of this generation. Mainly because everyone thought that eating raw fish was absolutely disgusting. Until an enterprise chef came along in LA and invented the California roll. What did he do? He took the raw fish, added avocado, and turned it inside out, thus just making it look way more appetizing for us to consume. And since we eat with our eyes first, that makes perfect sense. So what is Gyminie doing? We're just creating the California roll again, baby. And we're taking the crickets and we're grinding them up into a fine powder, so it's easier for us to consume. And with that fine powder, with the help of culinary chefs, we make an all-purpose baking mix, where you can make anything from pizza, pasta, cookies, muffins, anything flour-based. Now the cool thing about our baking mix is it's gluten-free, soy-free, GMO-free, dairy-free, and paleo-friendly. And with a 1/4 cup of our stuff, you actually get 11 grams of protein and all the micronutrients like the iron, the spinach, the B12. So as much as I hate this word, it's considered a superfood, you know? Because it's just overused. It's an overused word, to be honest with you guys. cool thing about crickets though is, this is more of a movement. And let me get to this, because this is what I'm super passionate about. This is more of a community-based product that we have going on. Mainly because I'm not building Gyminie's, man. I'm not building a brand, our community is, and I can't even help it. Like honestly, you go on our website and see all our recipes that we have, that's made from chefs and customers that have tried our stuff. But guess what? I recognize that because they're building our brand and they help us hit milestones. And when we hit those milestones, then we can give back. This is going back to my purpose in life, social engagement, bringing families and communities together. We actually have a milestone that we're trying to hit once we hit X amount of sales, that I'm going to go to Sabelle in Africa, where this is pretty scary, but people have to wait in lines of 100 just to get a small bowl of grain. It's that food insecurity that they have going on. There's kids with ribs showing. And it's even a problem manifesting in America. You see all the homeless people over here in New York City? It's a problem, So what I want to do is, with all the resources that we're saving with Gyminie's, choosing a sustainable form of protein, I want to use those resources and give back to the people that are suffering, lacking from this insecurity. If you're convinced as I am that eating crickets makes just simple sense, I invite you to try some of our protein cookies over there. We have 3 flavors. We have peanut butter, chocolate chip, and birthday cake. They're absolutely delicious. They have 6 grams of protein in each cookie, 10 grams of carbs, 130 calories, so it's good. It's a diet that you don't have to feel guilty about. And yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, you guys, for your time.